They say she only comes out at night to attack. If that was true, my story would have no leg to stand on, as it happened in the middle of the day. But I know what I witnessed, and I know it was her. She comes out not just at night, but any time. Only male, children are left unattended. She's in the water, just waiting for a chance to drag her next victim down to a watery grave. But unlike folklore stories, she is no mermaid. She pretends to be a drowning victim, body limp and pale, floating face down in the water. You were probably wondering what I'm talking about, so I'll start from the beginning. I was 10 at the time. My family owned a cliffside house by the ocean. This was our summer home, and it was a great place to play there. There was even a path leading down to a small beach hidden from view between two rocky cliff walls, climbing out of the water. One day during our visit, my best friend Nate's family came over for a visit. I was excited and wanted to show him around. Taking him by the arm, I led him outside and down the path to the small beach. We played in the sand, making castles and creating moats for them, and then pretending the castles and inhabitants were at war. Nate eventually grew bored though and wanted to swim. I told him to go ahead, but I wanted to join him, reminding him that I couldn't swim. Even if I could, I was afraid to get in the water. He smiled and teased me about it, saying I was a chicken, but I wouldn't budge. Eventually he convinced me to simply stand at the edge of the water and could spot each other from there. I'd followed that for a while, and then Nate decided he wanted to go back up to the house. But then the sun had gone behind massive clouds and a cool breeze was blowing up. I didn't want to be behind myself on the beach and followed after him. Maybe you think of me as a coward, but I always got nervous being by myself on that beach. At the time I didn't know why, but I eventually found out. We had the path, but Nate suddenly paused, looking down over the water. "What's that?" he asked. Before I could ask him what was the matter. "What's what?" I asked, figuring that he saw a whale or something. My friend pointed out toward the water. I looked where he was pointing and spotted something bobbing in the water near the rocks below. It was black, and for a moment I thought it might be a seal. Seals commonly swam by the rocks in the summer, barking to one another as they played amidst the waves. We hardly ever had shark sightings around here, so the seals were relatively safe. "Is that a person?" Nate asked suddenly. "Person?" I frowned, squinting. Now I could make out more of the figure in the water. It seemed to be a person, a woman in a wetsuit. I didn't see any oxygen tank though, but I did make out a face mask on her head pushing up from her face. I frowned myself. Why would anyone be swimming near those rocks? They were sharp and slippery. I knew this because my younger brother had died slipping on those rocks 2 years ago. He'd fallen and lay on the rocks near the water, impaled on them. My friend was now heading back to the path. I think they were in trouble. Before I could say a word, he rushed down the path, coming across the beach and dived into the water. I called after him and ran toward the beach, watching him swim toward the person in the water. I watched him reach the swimmer from where I stood on the shore, and that's when things went from normal to horrifying. The body moved, and as I watched, it grabbed onto Nate when he drew close. He let out a cry of surprise and tried to swim away, as if he suddenly decided rescuing her was a bad idea. It held on him, though, and suddenly 3 extra pairs of arms, no, tentacles, grew out of its back, and they wrapped around Nate like the tendrils of a vine. Nate's screams grew more frantic as he pulled away from the swimmer. Water splashed, and I saw my friend fighting for his life. I could see the thing's face now, blank except for a row of jagged sharp teeth in its mouth. Then they were gone. I stood there for a moment, staring in disbelief at the now calm waters, seeing only bones in the water where the pair had only things to go in. Then I rushed back up the path and ran into the house. I hysterically told the adults in the living room what happened, and Nate's dad, along with my own, ran out of the house into the beach. I took off into the water and dived under, looking for him, but returned moments later without Nate. My mother called the police, and they came soon afterward. Divers combed the bottom for his body for days afterward, but nothing. No corpse and no clues. The police questioned me about what happened, and I told them what we'd seen, the woman in the water and the transformation from a human to a tentacle monster with those demonic teeth. Nobody believed me, but I didn't expect them to. They all thought I was letting my imagination get the better of me. After a month, the search was called off. The conclusion was that Nate had been attacked by a shark, and that was why there was no body. But I knew better. Sharks always left something behind. My family sold the summer home, and I never returned. I could no longer go to the beach or even take a bath. The sight of it brings back images of Nate's drowning in that pale white face.